fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to a very busy San Diego landings in Point Loma. We have El Jefe. Yeah, the man, the guy, Wayne Kotow from CCA California. We're going to be talking some great stuff with Wayne, and Wayne is a hardcore fisherman too, so we're going to be talking fishing and more. You stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network. Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from 1.5 to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Hey, San Diego, the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer now through September and make it your best summer yet. Get great offers on the most popular Ford trucks and SUVs. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, and that means now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford and drive it home today. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Boy, today's always a great show. You want to talk about getting filled in on so much stuff and then also figuring out at the end of the show, like how on earth Wayne does all the things that he does. Today's going to be a good show, man.
And, you know, I want to compliment Wayne because now that we're on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, he brought props. So that's good, you know, good. CCA California and all that. So, and you can see Cal Tip. He's got that. He's involved in that. Good morning, Wayne.
Morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Why'd you put Cal Tip right on top of me? Like, what's up? Yeah. There's something there that I don't,
is there a message?
Know about. Yeah,
message
like,
there?
You looking into what I'm doing when I'm not around? Like, what's going on here?
Because you're very good about reporting poachers. Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Like
people that are
that's what Cal Tip's all about.
Just making sure it wasn't suggestive.
That's So, Wayne, wow, you're been working hard, man. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, guys. We've got not only the Star Tournament that we'll get into, we've got a lot of regulation things going down. We're right at the end of the legislative session up in Sacramento. They extended part of it for another week. And there's bills that are being like just thrown at us now, you know, replacement bills and stuff. So we're working hard. We're watching all of it. We've got Fish and Game Commission, Pacific Fisheries Management Council, Ocean Protection Council. I mean, it's just never ending up and down our coastline. So we all just continue to have to stay vigilant, right? That's what we have to do.
So give us kind of a rundown of who's attacking us now. Who's at us now?
You know, this is only a 2-hour show.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, it's the same things, but it's just ongoing, right? It doesn't, their long-term processes, some people think short-term, but they're more longer-term, right? So 30 by 30 is ongoing. They're going through a decision-making process right now on a tree. The problem with that one is that our fishermen aren't showing up to the meetings. They're out doing outreach meetings. We had one in here in San Diego, and only 3 of us showed up from the fishing side. 25, environmental people in there in the room. 3. And then it's going up the coastline. They did one in Monterey, and they're going to be going up to Northern Cal next. And then there's online meetings, but the people aren't even showing up for those. So where's the apathy with our community is what's really hurting us right now.
Yeah.
You get the word out there and then people don't show. Well, we got to have representation.
Well, when we first started the whole MLPA process, remember, everyone was gung ho, everyone was rallying, going to the meetings. We all went to the meetings, and now kind of.
Well, that's the next piece though. The MPA Decadal review is happening right now. We went through a process that we thought was the process of the Decadal review. The department put out their recommendations, and then the Fish and Game Commission opened it up to petition process. So when you hear about things like Cabrillo being expanded by 15 square miles, that is part of the petition process. And what
that's part of that 30 by 30?
No, it's part of the MPA Decadal review. But they go hand in hand. They're 2 separate processes. One's being run by Ocean Protection Council. The other one's run by the Fish and Game Commission and Department of Fish and Wildlife. So those are 2 separate processes, but they intermingle because.
And just real quick, the Cabrillo that you're talking about, that basically would take out Point Loma.
Yep. 15 square miles.
15 square. How far out?
3 miles.
3 miles. So basically,
it takes out the whole area.
It
completely
takes out
shut out.
So what happened
Loma.
is we lost most of La Jolla, and now they're going to take Point Loma, right?
Yeah.
It's like, which we kept saying, how could that be added? When we started the petition process of the Decadal review, or when we started the Decadal review process, the one thing that we were told consistently by Fish and Game Commissioners Department and staff was that there will be no wholesale changes. This was only supposed to be adaptive management changes that would help in certain aspects of the current MPA network. And no wholesale changes was exactly their term. Well, adding all that to Cabrillo, that's a wholesale change.
Totally.
And they didn't want MLPA 2.0. They didn't want the fight from the fishermen. So we've been all taking the high road and not going after it. And we're saying, okay, if you want to do minor things, tweaking for enforcement or a minor boundary change, because it just makes it easier from a location standpoint to line up something, right?
Straight line, a point
correct.
To whatever. You lose 100 yards, but it makes it very easy to identify where the line
people,
is. No problem.
And all these things are happening right now. So we've been watching them and taking notes. But then when all these other ones came through and they didn't just absolutely deny those petitions, that's when we had a problem.
Yeah.
And
that's a big problem.
That's a problem. And that's what we're working on.
And they're sneaky about it.
That's what I was going to say. That's how it kind of slid in under the radar. It's not like it was under your radar. You were told vehemently, hey, this is not a thing. And then all of a sudden they made it.
It's not done.
Yeah,
This is a process. Right now we're going through what we call the binning process. The department took all the petitions. There were 20 odd petitions which had multiple points within them. So they came out to 80 something items within each of those petitions. So what they're doing is they're binning those. So bin 1 are supposed to be the low hanging fruit. And then bin 2 and 3 are the ones that they're going to have to work on. Do they deny them or whatever? And that's the process we're in right now. So this isn't far from over. We're working it.
Yeah.
Within that one petition, that includes Cabrillo, there are 7 boundary changes that they put in that one petition, and that was only one item out of many.
For just Cabrillo.
Cabrillo is 1 out of 7 different areas up and down our coastline that they're trying to make boundary changes.
So what are the others?
Oh,
you know, I mean, there's too many.
A lot of Channel Island stuff.
That's a different petition.
Or that's different. Okay.
Yeah,
that's that's different.
Yeah,
that's something else they want, right?
Oh yeah, this is ongoing, guys. It doesn't just.
And that's why we need CCA California, right?
right?
I mean, you have to be a member of CCA California because there's so much of this stuff that the enviros are very sneaky about their stuff.
I was just saying, how tough is that? I mean, Wayne's
a lot of us aren't even aware of this, and Wayne's
count me as one of those guys, and this is what I do for a living.
Yeah. So here's 7 points. Cabrillo is 15 square miles. Point Doom, 4.6 miles. South Point is 28.3 miles.
Whoa.
Even bigger. Gulf Island, 1.8 miles. Point Conception, 14.6. Natural Bridges, 13.7. Pleasure Point, Santa Cruz, that one's 3.2. So that's
all the way up the coast.
That's just one person's petition. So that's one group turning in a petition.
So what it is, these are environmental groups that are petitioning the commission to say we want these
changes.
We want these changes.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
what
there's one
gives
that
them the? I mean, I guess everybody
for
has the
real.
right to do that. What gives them the
well,
right
the
to just
petition
say,
process
to
is
pick
open. You
these
can
things?
petition to change any
Yeah, can we-
regulation.
Yeah.
Can we petition to get rid of them?
Well,
Yeah.
no, actually, we have done some of that.
Sure.
Areas to open up, like we got the ones around Channel Island, which it's really a weird thing because you have Fed state all kind of crossed in over there with the National Marine Sanctuary, and we're trying to petition to open up for pelagic fishing.
Sure.
It's closed right now, which doesn't make any sense. They don't regulate the pelagic side, and we don't hurt bottom contact, environment, blah blah blah. So why can't we open it up? And that's a tough process because we're going through 3 different groups at the same time trying to get that one. But they have yet to prove that fishing's the enemy in any of these cases of why we have restricted access, right? We're the only group, I believe, being discriminated from use without proof.
Yeah.
Right. We get thrown under the bus, but they haven't shown, and we've got other people on our side on this one, that responsible and sustainable outdoor recreation can coexist with the conservation efforts. It can. And they haven't proven all the science, right, behind what's going on with all of these. And that's going to be the hard part is, can the department come up with enough proof? Did the petitioners have enough proof that these things are necessary to improve the network of the current MPAs? So there's a lot to that. There's the science aspect, there is the enforcement aspect, environmental aspect. There's all these other aspects to these petitions that we all have to dig in deeper and try to, they need to justify, we need to fight for our area. But access is the biggest thing, right? Always for us.
Access.
Access.
Yeah. And so there's different levels of MPAs too.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
There's MPAs that you can actually fish in.
There's some, yeah.
For some CCs. Right?
Absolutely.
Like the one in La Jolla. There's one of them that you can, but it's complicated.
It is very complicated.
One thing I'll say that if you haven't downloaded the Fish Legal app, that's a great app to have on your phone. Fish Legal. Just go into the App Store, Google Play Store, and don't download that, because when it's real time, when you're on the water, you can see if you're in the MPA or not.
Right. If you have your locations turned on your phone.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like, okay, think about it. We've now gone how many years with these MPAs? We have handed out tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of booklets. We have all updated our maps. We have things like Fish Legal. We have put signage up at boat ramps and at harbors, at docks, around the beaches. We have handed out, flyers and trifolds, and we've all had to go through this. We have a whole MPA collaborative network up and down of the coastline, training docents and enforcement agencies, state parks, all these guys. If you start making boundary changes, what is that going to cost us? And who's paying for it?
Yeah.
We have a budget deficit that is going to be so bad for next year that a lot of these programs are all getting cut,
Yeah.
need to be cut.
Yeah.
So if you go and start doing
You're
these
talking about the
changes,
state of
the
California.
state of California,
Yeah.
it's a huge budget
Oh, yeah.
deficit. So things are going to get
Because
cut.
they keep spending on stupid things. Just my political opinion, right?
Yeah. The hard part is that if you don't have the money to implement these things, how can you make these changes?
Yeah.
Right. So there's the cost, there's the need, there's what problem are you trying to solve by making some of these changes?
Right.
So
It's complicated.
it is very complicated.
So give us a day-to-day, a day in the life of Wayne Kotow from CCA. Let's talk about the different stuff that you do.
Driving from one event to the next one.
well, let's just say I've been on the road for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Literally went all the way up to Northern
every
Cal.
time I see you, spend a lot of time in Northern Cal.
I was in Northern Cal because we had our Fish and Game Commission meeting. We had a fundraiser within our coalition up there. Got to meet and talk with our newest Fish and Game Commissioner, Darius Anderson. But spent time all the way. Once I got up there, I actually went and did legislative calls while I was in Sacramento,
Mhm.
and then worked all the way from Fort Bragg all the way to Crescent City. So talking to our people, right? The commercial guys, the rec guys, landings, tackle stores, boat owners, surf fishermen, pier fishermen. I worked it, and for 2 weeks of that, and it's sad up there. Right? They're hurting. The businesses are hurting. There's no tourists in there. The ancillary
Why?
businesses, because of the regulation changes. No salmon, no abalone. We're looking
Rockfish is super limited.
at white sturgeon. There's just so many things. Groundfish regulation, the depth changes, the date restrictions, all of those things.
Don't want that
Wag limit.
happening here, guys.
No, but it's all
like,
coming
yeah.
down. That's
It's
the problem.
it's coming down.
It's all around us, right?
Yeah.
Right now, the department's looking at trying to do a halibut bag limit, California halibut bag limit statewide. They're looking at our sand bass. They're looking at white sea bass always. I mean, it's just never ending, right?
Okay, so that's a day of Wayne. Now, what about your assistants, Chris and Tony?
They're working.
Where are they? What are they doing?
They're working our chapters. They're working our membership. They're working fundraising. They're working social media. They're doing all of the star tournament. They're doing all the stuff that was on my plate. That thank God they're here because I couldn't do any more of that. And I'm trying to focus this year on mainly a lot of the government relations and networking and all the stuff because we can't do this by ourselves.
Sure.
We just cannot.
No.
And so building our coalition, getting our network up, getting our other partners on board to help us has been very, very fruitful this year for us.
Yeah. So what do people need to do?
People need to stay engaged. When we put out the word,
Like,
says,
first
hey,
of all,
we need to
join
go,
CCA is the most important thing.
Join CCA.
Yeah. How much does it cost to join CCA?
$40 a year.
$40 a year.
Yeah. We need membership, but we need active membership.
After members.
We need people to engage. We're looking for help, right? No one person can do it by themselves. It's an army. The whole point to CCA.
And there's a lot of our listeners that are super big helpers of
Yes.
CCA and do a lot of support for CCA.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just government relations. There's all the other pieces, right? None of this runs without the fundraising side of what we do.
Yeah.
It's expensive to do
Well,
all of it.
to hire all these different lobbyists and such like that you have to have when you're in government issues.
Yeah, to make all the meetings, to
Yeah.
travel, to do all the things that we
Yeah.
need to do to have coverage. We can't grow if we don't have the funds to have staff to manage it,
Yes.
right? So we're kind of at a crossroads of as we try to grow into Central and Northern California, which we need to do.
Yeah.
But
You would think that the people up there would be really wanting to get engaged because they have such limited access, right?
well, there's that, but there's other groups that are already up there, and it's hard because it's like when we started it down here. We're not here to take away your fishing clubs. We're your advocacy arm of your fishing clubs that you can't afford to do,
Right.
right?
The
So
fishing clubs should embrace CCA and be a
Correct.
part of CCA.
Right.
they should, and those members should be part of our chapter so that we have the communications up and down the chain, right?
Yes.
So national to state to the local chapters, and that's what grassroots is all about.
Yeah.
So we're working on all these fronts at the same time, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Now, do you ever get to go fishing?
Actually, that is something that the last 9 years, think about it this way. The last 9 years is when the bluefin's been here, and this is the least amount of fishing I've probably done in 9 years.
Okay. But you still get out once in a while.
I did get to go out. When I was in NorCal, I snuck out for half a day in the morning before a meeting in the afternoon, and I got to go fish albacore.
Albacore.
Finally.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cool.
Like
I mean,
up in
it's-
Eureka area?
It was out of Eureka.
Uh-huh.
And what happened was there were fish out off the coastline. I knew they were there, but nobody was going out. While I was up there over the weekend, I was looking around and all these guys are all staying in the bay. And it was flat, calm, no wind, no swell. And I'm like, why aren't you going outside? Those fish are within 20 miles. Oh, that's 20 miles. That's too far. Are you insane?
Yeah.
20 miles. I'll be back by noon. And that's exactly what we did. We snuck out there. We actually talked to 2 other guys. So we got 3 boats to go out and do exploratory. We found the fish. Merritt McRae was on the boat with me. We were using on Real Steel with Tim Klassen, and we got 13 of them on that day.
Nice.
And then I go on the way back, they were cleaning the fish, and I'm watching the meters, I'm watching the water, and it was like puddlers everywhere on the way
Wow.
in.
No
The
way.
sun came out, and it was just on. And I go, you guys, here's the spot. You're going to start here. It was 5 miles closer. Here you go. Start here and work your way. The next day, 39.
39.
And it's been
Awesome.
and
So
it's
you
been
got-
game on since then, except for weather. The weather's starting to kick
Wow.
up right now. They got
course.
the wind and the swell and rain, and so they had a week of the bite, and it was on for them.
That's awesome.
So Harold
Yeah.
Davis texted me some photos and videos yesterday about Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Really good albacore
Yeah.
fishing out of
No,
Santa
it's
Cruz.
Okay.
it's
So
Central
it's
Coast all the
real
way.
deal. Yeah.
Oh, and did you see Fort Bragg got a huge bluefin yesterday?
Really?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
out there fishing for the albacore, and then all of a sudden a bluefin showed up.
Nice.
It could
Big
still
one.
happen here. You never know. Could
No.
slide back down.
Well, they got as close as the Channel Islands.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It could happen.
That's
Yeah.
it.
As you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. Wayne's a wealth of knowledge talking about fishing locally here. We haven't even delved into the Star Tournament and what's going on with that and all the different issues that face fishermen here. It's going to be a fun show.
Yep, no doubt about it. Really pumped to have Wayne in here. And like you just said, the topics are endless having Wayne in here
Yeah.
from everything between CCA and all your history and fishing. It's going to be a great show. We want to have you join us this morning, man. If you got a time, We want to hear from you. Give us a call this morning at 213-432-1090. One more time, our number 213-432-1090. I always say that's the best way to call Let's Talk Hookup. It's the funnest way to participate. We like your phone calls, but we also are taking your questions via text. And if you'd like to text the show, that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. Never been a more important time to have the Let's Talk Hookup app than right now. Not only do you get to hear all the archive shows, you can find out all kinds of great information. It's also your only way to text in your questions to Let's Talk Hookup is through that Let's Talk Hookup app. As soon as you see the app, one of the first options you'll see is text the show. Just click on that link and you'll text your questions right through. Make sure, too, that you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number is all we need so we can get you that killer prize if you're the big winner at the end of the show today. And what a prize we are giving away today. So every caller and texter is going to be eligible. At the end of the show, we'll select 2 potential winners from that category. We're going to have Wayne flip the prize coin, and that will determine whether the winner comes from the caller side or the texter side. And somebody at the end of today's show is going to go fishing on a full-day trip on board the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing, fish with Captain Matt Brala, Ryan Boston. Just get in on that amazing fishing that the San Diego has been having all year long. What a cool prize for somebody, a full-day trip on board the San Diego. It's going to be a great time. Again, if you want to give us a text, do it through the Let's Talk Hookup app, or better yet, give us a call this morning, 213-432-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking those phone calls, reading those texts, and having a lot of fun with Wayne. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network.
Anyone that's been to the East Cape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barillas, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the East Cape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the East Cape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera, booked at BajaSmokies.com, should be your choice. So when you're headed to the East Cape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore, thanks to the Dana Wharf's Kids Club. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing invites all anglers 12 and under to join the Kids Club today. Membership includes over $100 of really cool stuff, like 2 free fishing trips, whale watch trip, as well as a free Dana Wharf Kids Club hat or t-shirt. Log on to the website, danawharf.com, or visit them in Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Again, going to be a busy show having somebody as popular as Wayne on here. But if you want to get through, you do have one open line still right now. There's one that can get you through. That's 888-432-1090.
Yeah, some good phone calls there. Let's go ahead and start it up.
Yeah, let's start with those phones and talk to our buddy Harry. He's calling us from Chula Vista this morning. Good morning, Harry. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Wayne.
Morning.
I did attend a meeting with Wayne in La Jolla, and one of the things, or some of the things that stuck out to me was our Point Loma treatment plant. I go to their website, and they say everything's wonderful, everything's fine. They don't mention that they're failing as far as what they're putting out in the ocean, and they're actually not living up to the standards which they were originally obligated to meet. And they claim that it's too much money involved to actually take care properly of what they're putting in the ocean. I think nitrogen and ammonia are two of the big problems. And they're creating a big biomass, but as far as biodiversity, their plans and regulations are having a hazardous effect on starfish, kelp, and an overabundance of sea urchins, from what I understand. And I
all you have to do is look and
Wayne,
see. It's fact, yeah.
Yeah, and so, and it's like it's being totally ignored. And I feel like the state is not aware of what one hand is doing and the other hand is doing, because they have committed.
Welcome to Wayne's World.
Yeah, Harry, I was going to say, if you're watching the live feed, you can see Wayne just like,
it's like
nodding his head in agreement of just like, yeah, it's a crummy situation.
Yeah, Harry, you're hitting all the points that we've been talking about for many years, right? We've been talking about that if you really want to fix our inshore waters along our whole coast, we need to protect all of it, not just MPAs, all of it. It's all being polluted because of the runoff from the sewers, the releases from raw sewage. The treated sewage is high in nitrogen. It's making our whole inshore green, and the kelp right now should all have come back because of the cold water spell we just went through.
Yep.
And it's not growing because the water's green, and so the sunlight's not getting down to the bottom. It's being filtered out. And so that's hurting us. And if you don't have good kelp, if you don't have good habitat, everything else is going to go away with it, right? So you're hearing all the things, you're saying all the things exactly what we've been saying for the last 9 years. And what happens is each of those agencies look at themselves and go, that's not within my jurisdiction. And so we can't do anything about it.
Not my job.
It's not my job. So unfortunately, we need all of them to get behind us, and all of us, environmental groups included, all need to get behind it and say, let's fix the real problems that are plaguing our shoreline. And then the MPAs will be fine, and so will the rest of the coastline.
Yeah.
Fix it all. Don't just do the spot thing. Putting a border up around an area and claiming the fishermen are the enemy isn't fixing any of it.
No.
You're absolutely right with the biodiversity issue.
You're burying your head in the sand.
Well, the biodiversity issue hasn't been shown because it actually works against them.
Yeah.
Biodiversity, well, they intermingle biodiversity and biomass. That's the first problem. Biodiversity is about species. Biomass is about the quantities. So biomass, if you shut down the fishing, nobody's going to argue you're going to have higher biomass. But they've actually worked against themselves on the biodiversity issue because they haven't fixed the main problems. Kelp die-off, the sea urchin proliferation, lack of starfish, abalone dying off. There's all these other things that are happening in those MPAs. And that hurts their thing, but you don't hear about that side of the story.
No.
But that's the truth. That's what adaptive management is supposed to be used for, right?
Yeah. They ignore the big problem. They ignore the real problem. And anybody that lives like I do and you do and everybody else that lives around the Point Loma area knows that sewage treatment plant is not doing the job. I mean, it is doing the job. It's killing everything around there.
Well, look what's going on the border right here. We got an MPA right here on the border,
and it's not the fishermen. It's not the fishermen, and they need to start addressing the real problems. And why these extreme environmental groups don't do that? It's mind-boggling. Why do they attack people that aren't the problem?
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's it. Is that, you've learned a lot about politics. I've never spent any time, thank God, in politics.
I never thought I would be.
Yeah.
You get into this, you're
Yeah.
thinking about I'm gonna enjoy fishing.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy my
Hey,
sport.
look, let's pick off these anglers. They're the easy guys, low hanging fruit, right?
Well, we don't show up for meetings.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So we have to have better representation. We have to be consistent, and we try to work. We're building coalitions right now. We've been working on it for the last 9 years. We've got a lot of good, strong partners.
Yeah.
Downstairs you got Ken, Frankie, and Zach on our side,
yeah.
right? And then we've been working with the surf fishermen, the fly fishermen, the dive, the spear, you name it. We've been working on those guys. We're working with the other outdoor community, shooting sports, hunting, outdoor recreation sport, because it's a bigger problem than just the fishing.
Yeah.
All of us are being attacked for
it
our
takes
outdoor
an army.
recreation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For sure. Let's talk about, thanks a lot for the call, and very good
Yeah, good
point
call,
there,
Harry.
because that's the bottom line right there. That's like, there's a lot of other problems besides fishermen.
Yeah.
And fishermen are not the problem. Yeah. Let's talk about the Star Tournament.
yeah.
It's 1 week left in the Star Tournament,
1
right?
week,
It ends,
Labor Day.
and
Labor
ends
Day.
Labor Day Monday
Labor Day Monday.
is the last day. And then that, who's going to win the boat?
There's some very passionate inshore guys, especially in the bass arena, that are really flying for that boat.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot, because you can enter multiple times depending.
2 times a day, every day,
every day.
and multiple species.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And-
it's been good. We've gotten over 800 entry or people in it, but some of these people have up to close to 80, 90 entries right now.
Wow,
So that's impressive, right?
Yeah.
You got to spend
Yeah.
some time on the water at 2 a day
yeah.
to get there. And it's only been a 14-week period.
Yeah, I mean, let's
so-
just say it's bass. I mean, to catch 90 bass.
Well, over 14.
that's
Over 14.
over
yeah.
14 for the bass.
over 18.
Oh, I'm
right?
sorry. Wait a minute.
I think it's 18, right?
16.
It's 16 on the bass.
16 on
I
the
think.
bass. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't have the tape in front of me, but
Is it
every-
18?
I think so.
Yeah?
it's pretty long, and
It's a big bass.
It's-
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, which I thought was, I mean, again, I could be wrong for sure. I probably am. Wayne always knows better, but I always thought that
Well,
same
one of
thing,
our
like,
listeners maybe
it-
clarify
but
that's in the tournament,
it's
right?
a very accomplishable goal, but it's a goal. I mean, but it's
Yeah.
not like you don't just go out and stumble into
Yeah.
a bass of that size every day. That
It has
also
to be a big
all
halibut.
I'm
It has
trying
to be a
do
big
is-
yellowtail.
is give credit to those guys that
Yeah.
have caught those
That have
fish,
caught
because
those
they're.
fish.
I thought the tournament was
It
so.
is 18. on the
Yeah,
bass.
okay.
18.
Yeah,
18
that's what I'm
inches
saying.
on the
Like, that's not
That's
an
a big
unheard of
bass.
fish, but that's a nice one.
I don't get the fish forms.
Yeah. How big is an 18-inch bass? Like 4 pounds?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so. Like over
It's a big
yeah,
bass.
high threes for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah. So you can't sit there in the bay and plunk short spotted bay bass for all
That's
day.
what I'm trying to
and
say, like-
enter the tournament.
But
right?
but still though, that's the
Yeah,
perfect
tournament.
size, because it's very obtainable.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not nothing either.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I think everything you guys did about the Star Tournament was good.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, Jim Hendricks, he just texted in. It's 18.
18. Yeah. Who, by the way, Jim Hendricks will be in the studio next Sunday.
Hey, all right.
The day before the end of the Star Tournament. So Jim's on the board of the Star Tournament, and Jim will have a lot of information on that, as well as, like, Jim's like an avid fisherman, and he'll have a lot of insight on a lot of that stuff.
And writes
too.
about it for us too.
Yes, he
Cool.
does. Yeah. So he's a great writer and has been around a long time. So a good friend.
Plenty of
of
opportunities
fishermen.
to still get into Star, because everything that you do it's about a raffle ticket, right? Every entry that you put in is a raffle ticket into our drawings. We still have our weekly drawings, as well as the 10 grand prizes, of which the ultimate grand prize is that Parker 18-foot center
18-foot
console
Parker
with
with
the Yamaha 150 upgrade on it and the
Oh my
trailer.
gosh.
So you
Unbelievable.
cannot.
That's about a $60,000 package, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So, and thank courtesy of West Coast.
Thanks
Marine
to
Services.
thanks to
So-
the guys at West Coast Marine
Yep.
in
So
Costa Mesa
in Costa Mesa
and Yamaha too.
and Yamaha.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
It's all good, and it only takes one to win
Yeah,
that. That's
exactly.
the
Yeah.
part. You could be right on the last day, put in one entry and win that over the guys that put in 90 to 100 entries.
Sure.
It's still just a raffle ticket.
Right.
So and it doesn't matter if it's a bass, a tuna, a yellowtail, a halibut.
So
it
how do
does
you
not
get in
matter.
it?
You go to our website and join it'll
CCA
have a link,
California.org.
and you can take the link over to the Star Tournament, or you can
It's
download.
$40, right? If you're a CCA member.
It's $40 on top of our membership.
Yeah. If you're already a member,
then it's just a $40.
then it's $40.
Yep, it's easy
To win a
It's simple.
$60,000 boat, like,
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
about that. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So much opportunity and some other really, really nice prizes too, guys. I mean, The 10 nights prior, I don't want to go through all of them because again, it's only a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I think we had some technical difficulties.
I think so
here.
too.
Yeah, I think something happened here to our Comrex. So if you're tuning in live on our stream, it's all good. So that's the good news. But we're going to figure this out here.
Well, would you like Wayne and I to do a
Yeah.
little text while you're doing a little technical stuff?
that
Cool.
sounds good.
Well, this was a good one that I thought Wayne would, and easy for you to speak on. It says, "Good morning, guys, and good morning to Wayne. Thanks for everything that you do for CCA. I'm already a lifetime member. What I want to know is how else can I help CCA going forward?" That's from Rob in Seal Beach.
Rob, Seal Beach, thank you very much for being a lifetime member. First and foremost, we are a grassroots network organization. So the more you can help spread the word, get your friends to join, go to fishing clubs and spread the word, that's going to help us get people to attend our fundraising efforts. We try to have fun events, whether it's our banquets, golf tournaments, or maybe a shooting event over at Huggies, whatever it is. We try to have some fun. We have a lot of member or star tournament charters. Get on those. Anything you can do to help us. Fundraising, membership development. We're trying to expand north. If you have contacts in the Central and Northern California, it does not hurt to help us get the word out up there as we're trying to grow. So those are all things that you can help us with. If you have other interests where you want to get involved, join our local chapter, right? And get involved and help us to develop and expand those chapters to get them to grow. Other ways you can do it, we have our habitat committee, we have hatchery committee, we have government relations, obviously. We have all these other committees that we're trying to do all these other projects with, and we could always use more help on any one of those projects.
You had mentioned earlier which bummed me out for me. Like I heard it and I thought like negative on myself, that at the 30 by 30 meeting, there were 3 people that showed up.
Yeah.
And how does a Rob in Seal Beach and how does a Rick in San Diego find out when and where we need, I would, I'm upset with myself for not being there. And I'm sure a lot of us are the same thing. Like, how do we find when those things that we need to support and you need bodies of fishermen. And sometimes it's literally just that. You don't need to prepare a speech and be ready to comment. Like, it's showing presence and having
we'll
your
have
CCA
you on the air
hat on.
soon.
And, how does one keep in touch with all those things if they want to get them show support?
Always try to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, website, ccacalifornia.org. All those things help us to follow along. You can always look at my Facebook page also, because I will post every time that we have a meeting somewhere.
You're great about it.
Yeah, so it's hard because they're constantly going on.
Sure.
Right? I'm not expecting everybody to attend every meeting. That's what CCA Cal's for, to attend the big ones. But when we have outreach meetings, especially because OPC is looking for input from the angling community, that's disappointing when we don't show up, especially in our heartland market, which is down here in SoCal. And they had it in the daytime, which was a problem, but they offered an opportunity to come in the evening, and they had an evening session and nobody showed for that one. So, we just got to keep involved. We got to be vigilant. We can't go away and throw up our hands and bury our heads in the sand, or we will lose.
Yeah. Okay. We're all back up. Okay.
Nice job, buddy.
We're good. Yeah. So we're
live radio.
Yeah.
That's what
live
we do.
radio. So we had a catastrophic failure. This is our. So for those of you watching on our YouTube and Facebook Live, we had a catastrophic failure of our Comrex,
which is the most solid piece of equipment that we use.
Unbelievably
Never
solid.
has problems.
Yeah. It's a high end piece of radio gear that communicates with our producer, who's actually in New York, Chris. And then he's screening the calls and everything like that. And so somehow it failed.
Yeah, we glanced over it. It was
like off. So it was like, what happened? So I kind of jiggled a few wires and stuff, and it came back on.
Yeah, the old
American
way.
Turn it on, turn it back on again. Right?
Yeah.
So
that's the real technical way of fixing that problem.
So let's go ahead and jump in the phones. Let's see if that's working right now. Yeah.
No problem, buddy. Vinny in Carlsbad, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Vinny, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, buddy?
What do you think is the number one cause for us not having any kelp, just like right there in the shoreline, right off, I remember as a kid walking along the shore and finding all the kelp and grabbing it and just popping it and squirting it. I mean, I see like zero kelp.
Yeah, so we kind of touched on it earlier on with when Harry was on. I don't know when we fell off the feed, but I believe that a lot of it is because of pollution. It's what man's doing from the shoreline into the ocean. So we have sewer runoff, we have raw sewage runoff, we have treated water, sewage, and other pollution going into our inshore, and Mother Nature just isn't have the ability to flush it and clean it up fast enough. So that polluted water is turning is high in nitrogen. It's creating a filter in the water so that the sunlight can't get down to the bottom where it needs to get to the kelp to grow. And other pollutions are not helping us either, right? Look at the amount of domoic acid and bacteria that's in our inshore water. Look at how many beaches are being closed because of the pollution, right? You can't go swim constantly in LA beaches, San Diego beaches because of the pollution. But that's where you have less population. As you go central Northern California, you have less pollution, and you notice that we don't have those problems up there that we have down here.
Yeah, for sure. Very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's we know what the problem is.
Yeah. But
People.
It's the problem. And it didn't help when we were all at home, living at home, flushing the toilets during COVID, right? I mean, it did not help that network. That overpowered the network, actually.
Sure.
It's not an easy problem. We got to put money into it. We have to invest in better solutions to fix the bigger problem, or we're all going to suffer, and MPAs are not going to be the answer.
Yeah, no question about it. We got to focus on what the real problems are. For sure. You have a good text,
Well,
huh?
I know it's a good text for Wayne, and because it came from our good buddy Ben Florentino at Coastal Charters, and the text just says, "Good morning, boys. Wayne, a huge thank you for everything that you do. We wouldn't be here without you." And he also says, "I'll look forward to seeing you and Tommy P on Wednesday."
Yes.
You're going fishing with Benny?
We have a once-a-year annual trip that we do with Benny because it is Tommy P's birthday trip.
Oh, okay.
Always at the end of August. And so, it's scheduled for Wednesday. Weather permitting, we're going out. We're going to go slam.
Looks
again.
like you're going to have good weather.
Knock wood.
Yeah.
Man, we are due for a good trip.
Speaking of birthdays, I want to say big birthday hi to Mike Lum. Today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike Lum.
I think he's 21 today or something like that. But I think he's traveling too. I think he's actually in Hawaii or
another guy with a low travel schedule.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
just doesn't work that hard all the time.
So, happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah, that's
happy
Mike.
birthday.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming way. We're going to check in with catch reports, find out what's biting up and down the beach, and a whole lot more of your phone calls and texts. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on that Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network.
Anyone that's been to the East Cape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best
Well, nice
food
job,
and drink
dude,
in North
on
Carolina, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the East Cape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the East Cape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera, booked at BajaSmokies.com, should be your choice. So when you're headed to the East Cape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore, thanks to the Dana Wharf's Kids Club. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing invites all anglers 12 and under to join the Kids Club today. Membership includes over...
This is Pete, and I hear it all the time. That Jim and Mary at Poway Valley Collision are amazing. I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, mentioned Let's Talk Hookup, and they gave us VIP treatment, fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. At some point, your car will need a body repair, and I'm confident in saying it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your next car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. When you take your car or truck to Poway Valley Collision, the job and experience will be top-notch. Get it fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com. If it was possible to improve near perfection in a lever drag saltwater reel, Shimano is the company that can do it. Introducing the all-new.
It's the perfect time to cruise on in and purchase a brand new Yamaha outboard and a great deal during Yamaha's Cruise Through Summer Sales event. From now until August 30th, 2024, eligible new Yamaha 450 to 425 horsepower outboards include up to 7 years of coverage protection, and 350 to 30 horsepower outboards come with up to 5 years. Need portable power? Then this will be a hit too. New 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboards come with up to $250 in dealer credit. Cruise your way through saving during Yamaha's Cruise Through Summer Sales event. Visit your local Yamaha dealer. Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Offer ends August 30th, 2024. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added to 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered by Florida dealers is a 24-month Yamaha extended limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer. In Florida, Yamaha extended service is administered by Automotive Warranty Services of Florida, Incorporated, 175 West Jackson Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60604-866-937-3983. License number 60023.
Give your boat the love it deserves and install a custom sea deck kit from Blue Seas Fabrication. Blue Seas is the West Coast's only certified sea deck fabricator and installer. Sea deck upgrades the look and feel of any boat, old or new. Sea deck non-skid decking adds comfort, convenience, safety, and value. Let the experts from Blue Seas Fabrication custom fit your deck, bridge, and interiors with stylish, durable, stain-resistant, and easy-to-clean sea deck. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com and enhance your fishing experience.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. So much cool stuff going on. So much great info. What a great show today.
Yeah, time for the catch report, right?
Yeah, man. Today that catch report is sponsored by Gamakatsu. Hey, man, I want to be clear. Not all Gamakatsu is just hooks. Gamakatsu makes so many killer accessories. There's so much more, including those brand new Gamakatsu fillet knives. Once you try one of those, you are going to want all the sizes, all the shapes. They make very traditional fillet knife shapes, including, the big skinning knives that we're used to, standard flex blade fillet knives. Beautiful, beautiful knives that Gamakatsu make.
And they're sharp.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
Also, the really cool one that you turned me on to were those scissors that are made with the ceramic blades. Never going to rust on you. Very, very sharp. You can see your local dealer or check Gamakatsu.com for more information.
Yeah, we have Captain Brian Woolley, Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Good morning, Brian.
What up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Wayne. How are you?
Morning, Brian.
Good, man. Good stuff in there this morning. It sounds, I don't know if you guys talked about it, but I texted Chris yesterday that they had a really good trip up there on the Caldon up there fishing lingcod.
Yeah, they
did.
That's
Really great.
fishing up there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Trying to grow
Really
that
good.
Northern California
Point Reyes
chapter.
Kicked out some nice ones.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, what's going on at Dana
Wayne,
Wharf?
For us this week, this warm water, gave way to some good bass fishing for our guys, both in the half day and our 3/4 day zone. So The half day stuff saw some real nice fly line calico bass, like 72 to 74 degree water. The water was really warm this week. So the kelp spots and some open hard bottom was kind of the zone there for those guys on that calico bass. Above Dana Point Harbor seemed to be some of the better zones for that bass. Still some halibut being caught on the sinker setups too, so that's still relevant. Seems like every day or two, these guys are catching a nice halibut. But very good bass action. Plenty of action for the half day guys on that bass there. 3/4 day has been similar to the half day scene with the addition of some decent sand bass opportunities over some hard bottom zones below the San Mateo Point there, kind of through the San Onofre area. Reverse dropper loops and sliding egg sinkers, Carolina rigs really were probably the best for those guys. It worked out really well. One very nice bonus fish for those guys this week. They had a nice 45-pound sea bass on Friday.
Woo!
Sand bass over that hard bottom. So
Saw that on your social media, man. That was a whopper.
That was a solid fish. So there's always that opportunity down there as well. There's been quite a bit of sardine in and out over that hard bottom, and I'm sure that bigger fish is just following that bait in over that hard bottom. Overnight, the Fury there at Clemente, it's all centered around that yellowtail still. The availability of some live squid for bait has certainly helped for some of that stuff, but still some fish on the live sardine and the jig. The bass fishing there at Clemente was kind of a little wonky a day or two this week. Just conditions obviously being kind of a key component to that stuff, wanted to cooperate in the kelp. And then offshore for our guys, really not a whole lot to report. I can say that there's, a few scattered mahi were caught on some kelp by a couple of our small boats. And Helena, I know, caught a fish or two this week out there. And a yellowtail or two here or there, but still really not enough signal to really warrant any real time out there chasing that stuff around. So as we're winding down August, we have our catch and release bass tournament. All the money that we're generating from that's all going to be donated to CCA, which is awesome.
Nice.
But
Cool.
the big fish for this month is it's 6 pounds. It's a 6.5 pound calico bass, which is, a nice fish, but there's still time left, and it's definitely a beatable fish.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I don't want to make it
not taking away from
sound
the
like
angler, because 6.5
That's
is
a
a very
big
nice
fish.
one, but in especially in your zone, I mean, that is just the playground for big bass. Like, that is a very beatable fish.
totally beatable. And I will add this tip too: the bigger bass that we're seeing and catching have been in that twilight time frame. This isn't just a ploy to get guys out on our twilight trips, but it seems that 5:30 to 7:30 time frame, that couple hours, whatever the tides do, and that's when a lot of those bigger fish that we've been seeing caught in that tournament have been caught. So take that for what it's worth. If you want to jump in and try and capitalize on some cool prizes from the sponsors, that would be a solid trip to jump on. You have a real good opportunity to catch one of those bigger fish. So
you guys certainly see everything. I mean, do you see a higher percentage of that bigger fish coming from a guy fishing a big live bait, from a perfectly presented anchovy, a big artificial, a surface iron? Like, what seems to be the take of the most larger size bass as of late in Dana?
I'm going to say the biggest sardine you can find in the hand well.
Yeah.
We've
Hard to
got
beat
a
it.
good mixed size of our sardine lately. It's hard to beat the hard live bait. Yeah, just a single fly line, get the bait out, and just stay on top of changing your bait.
I dig it, man.
That's been the key for those guys catching them. So
Good dope there, Willie.
we're busy all week. Yep, guys, give us a call. Our number here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web, too, at danawharf.com.
Hey, Wooly, before you leave real quick, there's a petition, MPA petition for Laguna Beach expansion.
Yep.
Tell everybody what that would do to the fleet and to the fishermen or the anglers in Orange County that use it.
So it's just another one of those things. It's already has its protection, right? And just the people in Laguna Beach and some other interest groups think that there's other areas below the already established MPA that they want to protect. And for us, the whole zone, essentially from just above Dana Point, that whole Salt Creek area up through South Laguna to where the existing closure is there, would be off limits to us, and it would relegate us to fishing basically below Dana Point proper, down all through San Clemente for half day, 3/4 day, any commercial fishing opportunities, lobster guys, all of that stuff. It would be off the table, and it's already protected, and it's just one of those things. They just want more and more and more, and there really isn't more to give. Everything, and I think it speaks to what you're talking about too, Wayne, is you got to get to the bottom of what the issue really is. Taking habitat isn't the answer. You need to dive into what the root of the problem is, be it runoff, pollution, whatever it might be, and attack it from that front before, you start grabbing and taking stuff.
Brian Woolley taking his boys on a 3/4 day trip is not the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the reason that there's fish, or not the reason there's lack of kelp. It just makes you so angry.
Just don't get these people.
Crazy.
It's like,
well, here's the problem. What they're telling everybody is that all this effort for fishing regulations, conservation, sustainability that we're doing isn't effective. So why are we doing it all then? If you're just going to take the space anyway, then can we just get rid of all the regulations? And
they're saying, let's take more, and that way maybe it'll be less effective.
But they're not. There's no guarantee on any of it, right?
No,
they haven't proven that any of it's working for them. So.
And
they really haven't, and I think that speaks to it right there, Wayne. Is they haven't proven definitively that it has done anything, and that's take more to prove what.
Exactly.
It's not going to change.
You're not proving anything to begin with.
So be active, get involved, especially up in your area there.
Totally.
It's like, yeah.
It's funny. We get guys on the boat all the time. Why can't we fish there? It's like, dude, we need someone like you to, write a letter to say something and do something. We can't just be the only advocate. Obviously, we're vested. We have a reason to be involved, but people fish this. Oh, I didn't know it was closed. Well, yeah, it is closed, and we need to keep anything further from being taken off the table. So yeah, get involved.
And it's not just the Fish and Game or the department. It's writing to your local legislators because they're now involved in this. The local legislators have gotten involved.
How local? Like
all the way down to the city,
like
the city and the county,
city council
and the county.
Yeah.
They've been writing.
City of Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
They're the main culprits of this, right?
Whatever. Yeah. All coastal cities are aware of what's going on. It's not, it's not hidden from anything.
No.
It's
Those are your elected officials.
And it's extremely controversial, as you can see. So yeah, get involved.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. Thanks, Willie.
Good job, Willie.
How do we go? While we can, how do we go fishing with you?
Cool. Yeah, just hit us on the web at danawharf.com. Link us through the Let's Talk Hookup website. Go direct. We're super easy to find, and you can book online from there.
All right.
You're the best.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Willie.
Okay, guys.
Appreciate that very much. Hey, now let's hit the surf. Our surf guru, Gundy Gunderson, is on the line. What up, Gundy?
Hey, what's going on, gents?
All good, buddy. You're what's going on, and man, nice week. Good day to go down to the beach, hit a little surf fishing up. How's you been biting?
It's been pretty good. There's one thing that we've consistently had this summer, and it's inconsistency. You know what I mean? It's so the key really to the better fishing, and the fishing has been good, is to find those cleaner water patches. There's been some stretches that have lots of weeds in it. There's been some green water. There's the clean water. Up in Santa Barbara, they had a 5 to 6 degree fluctuation in the temperature there. So these things, good surf fishing loves consistency. And then as a surf fisherman, the consistency leads towards your success because there's a predictability to it. So that's probably the toughest factor. My thing is that you should be scouting the beaches before you fish them and just see what the conditions are. Talk to your local tackle shop. Those guys are on the beat from day to day, and they can tell you where those best stretches are. And that's where information kind of comes in. But overall, the Corbina fishing was, again, the top draw. I'd say the best stretch was those North County beaches down to all through San Diego there. And like I said, the conditions have varied, but the guys who are finding that clean water are doing well. Let's start up in Santa Barbara. Their Hook, Line, Sinker reported some quality surf perch showing this week, and that's a sign, maybe a sign of fall, on the horizon. They had several 11, 12, 13-inch fish. They had a surf perch derby, and a 12-inch fish won it. So it's a sign of those little better quality fish. And then the halibut fishing's been really good out west from Goleta, Mesa, working your way out west, all those beaches, lightly fished, and they're finding some quality 26 to 30-inch halibut. Guys are fishing a lot of flukes right now and fishing them weedless because of some of the junk in the water there. Another sign of summer too is the bonita, and they had some bonita splashing around off the Goleta Pier, so that's another good sign. Just Fishing reported red hot yellowfin croaker fishing all along South Bay beaches. Basically, if you hit the water, you're onto one. Outside the breakers has been good, and the bait doesn't even matter. Anything from mussels to cut anchovy, they're biting real good. They also had 2 8-pound striped bass taken off Dockweiler there on cut anchovy. Big Fish reported a little uneven fishing on the beaches, but still in and around the harbor there, they got some quality halibut, and one of their regulars checked in a 40-inch halibut taken at the Bolsa Chica Inlet on live smelt, and it seems like the live bait is probably working best for those better models. Hogan's reported lots of Corvina in Capo Bay. Conditions has been a challenge, but they've had fish up to 3.5 pounds. And then Pacific Coast reported the same. A little bit uneven conditions, but you find the clean stretches, and guys are getting 2 to 4 fish in a session. They have a Corvina Derby going on in the shop, and 2 4-pound on the dot fish are leading the Derby. So there's a little, I'd say 4-pounder can be beat. So the Derby goes the rest of the month.
4-pounder's a nice fish, though, man. That's a solid Derby the boys got going on.
Yep. You know, what I do in San Clemente when the conditions are like this is I go, there's a bunch of spots where you can sit on the bluff and look down the beach, and I literally take binoculars, look down the beach, and you can see those stretches of cleaner water, you know, and that might be worth your time when you have these kind of conditions.
Find the spot.
That's rad.
Play fish and game officer, huh? Hey, Gundy, great job there. Appreciate your report, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Hey, Gundy, before you leave, real quick,
Great
Gundy.
show as always.
Hey,
Have a good
Gundy, what do you think about the department's idea of a slot limit on the striped bass?
On the striped bass?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, I think there's a proposal that they're looking at.
Yeah. You know, striped bass is, those fish grow so rapidly, you know what I mean? I understand the intention, but I don't think there's a problem with that fishery, you know what I mean? But,
that's
I think
what we got to
there's
watch.
more important needs, you know, like accessibility and management, like you're talking about in Laguna Beach there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These fisheries are meant to be used by the public, you know. Just closing areas that's not management, you know. That's not the way this thing's supposed to work.
Lunacy.
It's taking it away.
Yeah. Hey, Gundy, thanks a lot for that, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
See you, Gundy.
All right, guys, have a good week, huh?
Later, brother. Hey, summertime is here and in full swing, and for all your surf fishing needs, check out surffishtackle.com for the newest in surf fishing gear, and fishthesurf.com to help make you a better angler on the beach. When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more of your texts, more fun with Wayne. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network.
Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena is the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. Did you know Summit is also the place to get the lowest prices on gourmet ice and snacks for your trip? $3.99 for 25 pounds of ice, as many as you want. That's half the price of others. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice free with a 30-gallon fill. Kirkland products at lower prices than the store that makes them, plus dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel pumps, easy in and outs too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you. Fresh made burritos, sandwiches, salad, along with beer, beverages, and of course, always free ice. Summit Gasoline low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Surger Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from 1.5 to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at surgersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's surgersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Wait, a 40-pound white sea bass off an inflatable Hobie kayak? Tell me about that.
I'm Logan from Fastlane Kayaks on Mission Bay, and the whole story began when Ron Lane lent my parents some Hobie Mirage iTrex to put on their boat and take out to Catalina Island. That's when I borrowed the iTrek 11, threw it in my car, and drove down to Baja for a fishing and camping trip. Ended up landing a bucket list 40-pound white sea bass on the cliff.
Dang, that sounds even better than our Mammoth trip, when we packed up the kayaks in the car, snowboarded all morning, then drove down to the lakes, launched the iTrex, and fished for trout all afternoon.
Honestly, the iTrek inflatables are the ultimate fishing platform. From trout in the Sierras, calicos at Catalina, and white sea bass in the Sea of Cortez, they can do it all.
And we've documented all these trips, so check out Fastlane Kayaks on Instagram to see more. And if you think you want a kayak, but you're on the fence, come down to our shop. We're right on Mission Bay, and we would be happy to throw one in the water and let you give it a try. So call Fastlane Kayaks to schedule a demo today.
Offshore fishing is on. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. For bluefin tuna and yellowtail, nothing beats the Shimano Talica, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. Shimano Speedmaster 2 is also an extremely durable, high-performance lever drag reel for the more budget-minded angler. Both the Talica and Speedmaster 2 feature Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest of load. For all your Shimano, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best, Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock God Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network and Facebook Live and YouTube Live and 1090 AM. We got it all. We got it all going here for Let's Talk Hookup. The world headquarters here, with Rick and Wayne Kotow from CCA California, executive director.
Wow.
And we're giving away a great prize.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that. But if you didn't hear the beginning of the show, one lucky caller or texter, again, decided by that coin flip from Wayne at the end of the show, is going to win a full day trip on board the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing. So cool. Huge prize for one lucky caller or texter. Again, full day trip fishing with Captain Matt, Captain Ryan, out of Seaforth. If you want to get through, man, we want to hear from you this morning. We've been having a great show for this first hour, and we want to hear you in the second hour. 213-432-1090. That's our phone number. That's how you reach us on Let's Talk Hookup. 213-432-1090. Or keep those texts rolling in. The only way you can text in is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. And when you do, make sure you include your name and your phone number so we can get you that killer prize on the San Diego.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of fun. I got a great text here. Really interesting one, too. And thanks to Kim from Petaluma, who's it'll describe what's going on here. As Wayne, as a Northern California resident, we have really felt the impact of the incredibly strict regulations. My husband works in the fishing store, and his best friend runs a 6-pack charter boat. Financially, this has been devastating to our community. Besides joining CCA, what else can we do to help fight of keeping recreational fishing open along the coast and regulations under control? And again, Kim, and they're listening on the app, driving back from the Pacific Dom trip, epic kite fishing that Kirk was talking about.
Nice. So that was the CCA sponsored trip.
That was a CCA trip. Okay.
Yeah. So hey, Kim,
thanks for that.
Thanks for that. I was just up in that area. I understand it. I saw it. It's sad. What's happening is we have a problem of not enough real data to fill in the models that we're being used for regulation. So what's happening is they're only using the majority of the demand data, which is our side, the catch data from the fleet, the commercial fleet, the rec fleet, everybody, right? And the surf samplers along the shoreline and the docks. That data gets in the model, but if you don't know how much inventory is out there, if you don't know the age class of that inventory and all the other pieces that go into the other side of the model, how do you know if you're overfishing or if you're at a status level? And that's the problem. It's statistically being modeled. They're not doing the science. We all need to get our Department of Fish and Wildlife and NOAA, National Marine Fisheries Service, to do that data. We need to hold them accountable to the stock assessments and get the correct science needed to fill in the models so that we can all believe in the data that's being outputted from the model itself.
Yeah. Now, how do we do that? Is it now which first of all, is it the Fish and Game Commission or is it the Department of Fish and Wildlife?
Well, the Department of Fish and Wildlife actually does all the work, right? The Fish and Game Commissioners are the ones that are actually the body to make the decisions. They vote on it.
So Craig Schumann and then the chief officer are going to be on Let's Talk Hookup here in September. I think it's
the Marine lieutenant,
the Marine lieutenant, like late September. So tune in for that.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
Is Craig involved in that process?
Craig is in charge of the whole Marine Division for Department of Fish and Wildlife.
So can we point the finger at Craig and what's going on here?
You can, but that's not maybe fair because he's an employee and there's money and it's budgets and it's staffing. So our job as constituents are to get them and their bosses to set the right priorities, the right funding, staffing, and get them to do the work, hold them accountable.
Right. Yeah.
That's what our job is. Their job is to hopefully execute all of that, but they're being pulled in 100 directions.
Sure.
Right? Craig is stuck in the middle of it all, right? So yes, while he may,
because Craig always seems like he's kind of on our side. He
tries to be.
Yeah. But he's got a difficult job.
You can't win in that job.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, somebody's going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
Right. Because the environmental groups want to shut it down and the fishermen want to go fishing. Right.
Yeah.
And somewhere in between is compromise, which is realistically where we all should be. Because if we could all trust the data and the models, then we would all believe in what the action should be for management.
Right.
But right now, none of us trust it. No side trusts it because the data is not being fed into the model correctly. The model is all assumption and statistically based.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Wow.
And so those statistics, they have to be conservative and they have to be able to back them up.
Yeah.
But that's wild ass guess at this point. Whose answer is right as far as the fudge factor of what's out there and what's, it's my guess against your guess.
Sure.
Without data, it's just an opinion.
And just the catch data from a boat, there's a million factors there. The guys had excellent fishing on this year, so they spent a lot time fishing for that this year, and the conditions weren't great for that this year. But all of a sudden, they have the number to look at, like, oh well, they caught very few of these fish this year, so
shut it down.
Yeah,
well, that idea of if we have a really good season, then we overfished. If we didn't, then the stock is crashing, right?
Yeah.
But both of those are wrong.
Exactly.
Right. And then the effort shift. If we're not fishing, doesn't mean that there's no fish. It just means that maybe the effort shifted someplace else, like this bluefin bite.
Exactly.
We're not doing as much ground fish or inshore fishing as we used to because the bluefin's been out here.
It's it.
Right.
So, and then how do you look at low ground fish numbers and just determine, oh, well, they're not catching as much, so it's not as good. Let's close her down.
Just because you didn't see them or we're not catching doesn't mean they're not in the ocean.
You got it, buddy.
That's been our biggest thing. Look at the Calcott. Is a good example.
Yeah.
They shut us down 20 years. They said it would take 100 years to get it there, and we opened it up within 20. It probably should never have been shut down. Those fish were out there. We had plenty of surveys that showed it. Same thing with Picacho, right? And there's other species that have been put on the list or done regulation changes to protect them. They're coming after us for California halibut right now, and they want to take a bag limit change all the way statewide. But there's no data to show that's necessary right now. Show me where we aren't all protected. If those MPAs are doing what they're supposed to do, that you're claiming all that success, guess where the spawning is happening? That area.
Yeah.
The few areas that we have available to us, like our harbors, our bays in area. Oh, look at you guys overfishing. That is just a pimple of the amount of inventory that's out there, stock that's out there.
Yeah.
That we can't get to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and so and you look at what's happening.
No, it's bad data. It's the bottom line is they're just not doing the science.
We need to hold them accountable. And there's a lot more to that, right? We get them funding. We work at federal and state level to get funding, and it never gets down to where it needs to get to. So it's setting the priority within those areas also.
Yeah. You have a good text.
I thought so. It's from Dave in Anaheim. It says, hey, I thought that MPAs were supposed to be temporary and were going to get recessed after a set number of years. Do you see there any chance of any of them reopening soon? And what is the long-term process? That's from Dave in Anaheim.
Dave in Anaheim, that's a very good question. And trust me, we have been harping on that one for the whole time. This 5-year cycle turned into a 10-year review cycle. And now the latest commissioners, a couple of them, are stating that was never stated and that was never going, is never going to happen.
Oh, a lying politician. What a surprise.
So
what a surprise.
we know. Well, it's interesting because one of the other commissioners who was on a blue ribbon task force turned on the mic and goes, "That's wrong. I was there. It was said."
Yeah, 100%.
And all of a sudden that went on deaf ears.
It.
So they have repeated that same, it will never happen. It was never promised. Now multiple meetings. And we, unfortunately, they're the people that have the votes.
Right.
Okay. So will it open anytime soon? Not soon. They're actually trying to get more MPAs and expand those borders and do more protection. And the 30 by 30 effort, whether you call it an MPA or not, is also about protection. So at some point, we're going to go from 16% to 30% of some kind of protection. So unfortunately, it's
That's a 30-30 mandate.
The 30-30 mandate. So we're on an uphill battle right now. We're trying to get national marine sanctuaries all included in the number, and then we'd be okay without having fishing access changes.
Yeah.
Other changes, water protection, quality, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're
It's
okay with
complicated.
it. But we're okay with those things. We
Sure.
believe in the same conservation effort. We want to make sure that our ecosystems are healthy, pollution, all that. So,
dude, you got a hard job.
I know.
Yeah, well,
man. I know.
it's so
every
complex.
time Wayne's on.
Yeah.
That's how I hear. That's
Yeah.
how I feel like.
It's like
And that's just one of the issues you're working on this
Yeah.
week. Like
this is what you do every day.
I forget living in my San Diego bubble that just to our previous Texas question, the salmon, the crab, the
The
state,
Northern California,
the state-
Central California.
Oh,
I mean,
Dungeness crab
devastating.
hurt them. The salmon closure hurt them. The halibut bag limit we had to take. The striper issue, white sturgeon. I mean, it is just this collision
one
of
after
events
the other.
You're
that's
CCA
crippling.
California. We're not. It's not
Yeah.
CCA San Diego. Like it's
That's right.
everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, let's jump into the phones.
You got it, man. Well, the phones are packed up. I know everybody's excited to talk to Wayne. And how about we jump back in and talk to Chuck? He's calling us from Dana Point this morning. Hi, Chuck. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. These politicians, but we had a job in LA. I went and helped some guy, and the devastation of how many motorhomes are there and no outhouses. So every time it rains and they're cleaning it up down there, washing it down the drain, where does that go?
In the ocean.
Right
That's
in
a
the
great point, man.
mouth, right outside. Yeah, right in the ocean. And they need to address that instead of us.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They're looking at the wrong page there. Hey, Pete, happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, thanks.
Hey,
Tomorrow.
Manana, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Pete Gray.
69.
Hey.
Holy crap. How'd that happen?
Rick, don't buy yourself what you want. Go like Ricky and go buy what you want.
There you
Well, I'm
go.
going out tonight for my birthday, so you
Oh.
guys have a good one.
Go
Happy
get him,
birthday,
Chuck.
Chuck.
That's
We're
cool.
going down at the dock.
Yeah, cool. Happy birthday. Have a great
Yeah,
time.
we're
And thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that very much. Scott Sherman's on the line. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, Sherm.
Hey guys, good morning. Love when Wayne's on the show. There's just so much information that comes from Wayne and what he's doing, and I don't think people appreciate the efforts that he puts in. He's got to be the hardest working guy in this entire arena, and he's just so much appreciated.
Agreed.
But I wanted to ask Wayne to, you mentioned contacting your elected officials and the politicians and that kind of thing. Wayne, could you address like the proper way to talk to elected officials and to address them? Because sometimes with our fishermen, our passion gets carried away, and I've seen people talking to politicians who ears might be open and they get so aggressive and so insulting that at the end of the day they shut ears instead of open them. Can you address on the way to deal with elected officials, please?
Absolutely. Thanks, Scott.
From an elected official, right?
Yeah.
Former elected official. Yeah.
Scott Sherman.
Yeah,
from Mayor.
don't call me a politician.
Scott Sherman from Mayor. Yeah, no problem. Hey, no, Scott, that's a very important issue. What happens is our passion for our sport turns into aggressiveness, and then we start cursing. We start getting overly aggressive with them. We start getting personal. It's not personal. This is business. This is strictly business, never personal. Keep that in your head. Stay calm, state facts. We're trying to convince people that we're not the enemy, but if you get personal and you start attacking them, it got personal. Yeah. And that's what's going to hurt our cause. And it hurts our cause every time they do it. So 20 of us go up there and we're doing good, and one person just shoots us in the foot when they get that way. So yeah, stay professional, stay on point, talk about the facts of what we're trying to accomplish and why. If you watch us or you listen to me, it's all about the consistency of messaging. they need to hear that consistency of messaging of what is the problem, what we need to do, how we need to get there. Don't always go into a politician with a problem. Go in there with a solution, because that's what they need to help you. You're planting a seed in their head of how to fix something, because everybody's going to bitch about something. They get thousands of those a day.
Yeah.
So find a solution, stay on point, do bullets. Don't get emotional.
There you go.
Oh, great.
All
Well
right.
said.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate your input too, and all the support you give CCA too.
Absolutely.
All right.
My pleasure. My pleasure, guys. Keep it up, Wayne.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, that's cool. Hey, had another great text come through here. It says, good morning, guys. This is Don from San Bernardino. So we know that California has heavily regulated on many things. These MLPAs are not only California-specific restriction, if I remember correctly. It says, how are they working in other states? What have other states done that are facing the same problems as us in California? I know CCA is a statewide or is a countrywide group. How has CCA affected things in other areas, closures, management, et cetera?
Wow, that's a big question, and this is still only a 2-hour show, of which we're past the first hour. CCA has been effective across the nation in a lot of different ways. Here's a very good example. We started the descending device use and development and usage here in California. It took us a while to get it into regulation, which had just happened in the last year. But that device, or those devices and that methodology and science, rippled across the country. If we didn't have that technology, we wouldn't be able to fish snapper and other species down in the Gulf. It saved their fishery by being able to do the science with the descending device, prove that it helps the mortality rate, and it got them back on the water. So that saved the whole Gulf, Texas to Florida in snapper. So there's one very good example. Other examples are what happens in California ripples across the United States. This 30 by 30 effort that started here in California during COVID, the AB 3030 thing, rippled across the United States. We were the test subject on that. And our messaging helped other states get through their process. It also helped with the regulation and the America the Beautiful Act in Washington, D.C., the federal policy for the 30 by 30 effort. So there's a lot of those kinds of things where we all need to work together and help each other. People watch what happens because, unfortunately, a lot of stuff starts here in California, and they watch what we do to help combat it. And again, consistent messaging on the bullet points, on the science, and what we're trying to do. Our effects out here of the data issue rippled all the way back to Washington, D.C. with NOAA. And if you look at their bullet points and what they're trying to put as their goals now at National Marine Fisheries Service, the other states actually chimed in, and now it's part of the federal thing that they're trying to work right now is how to get more staff, data, and science into our fisheries.
Wow.
So we've had a lot of effect.
A lot of stuff there, for sure.
Oh, it's ongoing.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
No.
It doesn't go away. Well, let's find out what's biting.
You got it, man. It's time for that fishdope.com report, sponsored by the Anglers Realtor. And we've got our great buddy Danny from Fish Dope on the line today. And today, that catch report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the brand new and easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure to make your reservations today. And today, we do have the man behind Fish Dope. Danny is online. Good morning, Danny.
Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. Happy birthday, Pete.
Thank
good
you.
Rick. And good morning, Wayne. Long time no see.
Morning.
Anyway, let's get right into it here. I think there's really good to excellent big bluefin fishing out around the 499, the snail. Here's the deal. Got lots of boats been running out there, not seeing anything and leaving before it happens. This has not been going off until at least 3 in the afternoon. Yesterday, it was just after 4, and it went from nothing to wide open.
Wow.
200 pound bluefins. It was all you could do to not get bit, actually.
Wow.
So rad.
That's so cool.
Anyway, Tanner and Cortez are both biting, and interesting to note, some really big yellows are biting in the dark at night. especially for the boats that drag live squid over there. Knocking the socks off at 30, 40-pound yellows. And there's bluefin there too. Most of it's 15 to 30 pound, but there's some bigger stuff on the 100 fathom curve on the outside of that. Catalina, great marlin fishing. There was like a dozen releases up off the 286 on the west end, dozen releases off the east end yesterday.
Wow.
And I'm hearing already this morning that there's been several off the east end. So
that's cool.
You know, that other than slow kelp patty fishing in that area, the marlin's really the top billing.
Crazy, huh?
You know,
Wow.
I'm going to leave the excellent fishing at the Coronados for the Seaforth guys.
It's been
Anyway.
good. It's been.
I'll keep it short and sweet at that.
Well, Danny, I got to tell you, man, you are fantastic. And I know this is what your life is. You live it and love it, but you are perfect addition down here. And where have you been all these years that we've been doing this? Come on. You're awesome, man. You're doing a great job.
Really
and,
good, Danny.
We really appreciate you doing it.
You know, I've been doing fish stuff for 14 years.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. You know what's
4
going
years
on.
of Real reports before that.
Yeah.
You're the right man for it.
Well, and of course, you want to join Fish Dope, or you're not a member of Fish Dope, new membership, $30 off a new membership using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space, Hookup Now. Your $30 code, and Danny gets all the information, has all the insights, as you can hear, when it's biting. You could have been sitting out there on the snail catching nothing, and you would have known. You see, you could just kind of relax, and then okay, it's 4 o'clock. Danny says it's going to bite, and there it goes. See, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Well, how do we find you at Fish Dope, huh?
You can call us at
Actually, just fishdope.com. Just go to fishdope.com and sign up.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah. Hey, Danny, keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Maybe, or Yusuf, maybe. I don't know which one.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Danny.
See you,
We
Danny.
appreciate you.
That's awesome. Well, that's gonna wrap up our fishdope.com report. Sponsored by Norris Lithium Batteries. They're here in Southern California, designed specifically for marine use. Norris Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, and also they have that killer Norris Guardian Advanced Battery Management System. It allows you to monitor the health and charging status with an app on your phone. Norris also makes a complete line of kayak and electric reel batteries. Make an investment in the best for your boat with Norris Lithium. Check norrislithium.com or just go see the trolling motor doctor at Anglers Marine in both Anaheim and Lakeside for your Norris Lithium batteries.
Arnie and Vista. Good morning, Arnie.
What up, Arnie?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, Wayne, good to see you on there, buddy. Hey, Pete, somebody already beat me to it, but it's happy birthday to you. And also, the day after your birthday, happy birthday, Chris Arechidera.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, a bunch of great people.
Yeah, and
on
Tommy
there.
P on Wednesday. You're going fishing on his birthday with him, huh?
Yep.
I like it.
It's a lot of August birthdays.
Yeah, birthday
here.
groups here.
Yeah. Thanks, Arnie.
Yes, sir. Yeah, hey, one thing I got to say, Wayne, I really got to give you a huge shout out and thank you. I met you, about 8 years ago got a couple of the Let's Talk Hookup remotes, and I walked up to you and asked you kind of what about CCA was all about, and you were low pressure. You kept feeding me information, and eventually, like a fish, kept waving a bait in front of me. I bit, and I got very involved with it.
We hooked you
and
deep.
I got to really thank you, Wayne, because I tell you what, you really opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Thanks, Arnie, and thank you
I gotta say
for
thanks.
everything that you do to help us. Because again, it's not one person. This is about all of us working together. We're grassroots.
It's a village, as they say, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys like Arnie, a lot of people in Southern California, whether it be the San Diego chapter, the LA chapter, the Orange County chapter, the Riverside chapter, the Northern California. I mean, that's what makes it all happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for your efforts, Arnie.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. You're listening to the Let's Talk Hookup app and the radio network.
This is Pete, and I hear it all the time. That Jim and Mary at Poway Valley Collision are amazing. I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, mentioned Let's Talk Hookup, and they gave us VIP treatment, fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. At some point, your car will need a body repair, and I'm confident in saying it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your next car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. When you take your car or truck to Poway Valley Collision, the job and experience will be top-notch. Get it fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com. If it was possible to improve near perfection in a lever drag saltwater reel, Shimano is the company that can do it. Introducing the all-new Talica 12A and 16A 2-speed lever drag reel. These new Talica reels raise the bar of Shimano's flagship reel again with ultra-smooth reeling and powerful drag performance to conquer long battles with trophy game fish. The addition of Shimano's innovative Infinity Drive technology leverages a new drag design to increase drag force and produce up to 30% lighter rotation during tough battles. The new generation of Talica now features X-Protect technology to boast high-level water resistance in vital areas. These new Shimano reels feature a Hagani body made of highly rigid aluminum to reduce the reel's overall weight. The palming side plate is an additional 6% smaller than the previous generation. Push the limit. Shimano's all-new Talica 12A and 16A reel, available at your local Shimano dealer. Hey, San Diego, the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer now through September and make it your best summer yet. Get great offers on the most popular Ford trucks and SUVs and experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, and that means now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford and drive it home today. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For quality, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportFishing.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. I really like that Islander spot they just ran. What a rad boat to get to go.
Such
do
a
that.
great boat.
Those
Yeah,
guys do a
for
really
sure.
Good job.
Yeah, and so much going on. They've been getting them. They have really, and they're still they have some open party trips. If you want a great open party boat, Islander does a great job.
I don't know that there's a more comfortable boat to go on in that range trips. You know, those
Very
guys really
fishy.
specialize in those 2.5 to 3 day type trips and staterooms and unbelievable food and the full long range food schedule, snacks and killer dinners. And, yeah, those guys are great.
No, they do. It's a super good job.
Yep.
And Wayne, so some big events coming up here. Free Fishing Day next Saturday, huh?
Yeah, August 31st is the second of the 2 free fishing days for the state of California.
You don't need a license.
Do not need a license. It's the right day to go out and get your family and friends out to enjoy our
that
sport.
don't have a license.
Absolutely.
So take them out on the bay, take them out on the ocean, and go catch some fish. And then lobster opens early this year, huh?
Friday, September 27th at 6 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, take advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
You
and
know?
so it opens at 6 p.m. So there's not any midnight craziness, right?
That's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for sure. Well, lots of great texts, and we sure appreciate all your texts and supports. Of course, I want to remind you again, those of you that haven't been watching, we are on Facebook Live and YouTube Live now. Let's Talk Hookup Radio Show. You can link all those on our website, letstalkhookup.com. On the top right, there's a links to all our social media, but the ones we're streaming on right now live. And I was wrong. The Facebook Live is recorded, so you can access it actually anytime on our Let's Talk Hookup Facebook page, as well as our Let's Talk Hookup YouTube page. You can access not only the live video feed, but you can also access, after we're done with the show, the live radio feed that you can download and play in your car or whatever.
Nice.
So all that stuff's available. So and so if you miss it, All of it's available either video-wise or audio-wise on YouTube or Facebook. So.
And I know if you go onto the Let's Talk Hookup website, there's a link to all of the social
Yes.
medias, you know,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
platform.
I love all the options.
Sure. Yeah, and we have a new Instagram page that we're building. And that is Let's Talk Hookup Fishing.
Right.
And so add that to it too. We post a lot of pictures and stuff like that on Let's Talk Hookup Fishing on Instagram.
The other one went away, and neither of us could figure out how to get it back. So there's a brand new one. So
and Instagram was no help. It was
Dude,
like
yeah.
somebody hacked it, and it was like
try calling
start
somebody
all
at
of-
Instagram.
Yeah,
Start
start all
from
over again.
scratch.
So David in Laguna Beach says the water is cooler than last year, and we've had a lot of rain. So are we in a La Nina year?
It depends on who you talk to, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if you talk to NOAA, National the Weather Service guys, no. But they're saying, I just saw an updated report that said that there was a cooling trend along the equator. So it's like this mixed bag La Nina El Nino cycle that they're now claiming. So depends on who you talk to. I think that we're in this transition cycle between one to the other right now.
Yes,
it's about
for
that
sure.
time.
Something's
It's
different.
showing the signs. I look at more of what Mother Nature tells us. You can see it in what's off our coastline as far as species. You can see what's happening with our water temp, our coast, the weather, the pattern that we're into. You know, and you guys know back in the days of the albacore years, we had those weird weather patterns during those times, and that was that La Nina cycle. So I think we're in that transition. I don't think we're there yet.
I know La Nina and El Nino is a lot more than a single bubble of warm or cold water, but I don't think you can call it a La Nina. I saw it's just the social media from Captain Brandon Nelson on Lucky Bee the other day with a screenshot of his meter reading 78 degrees.
78.
Yeah. And it's been, and there's been common 74, 75, you know, down around the islands and that beautiful blue water.
Well, look
we've
at
had
the
down
marlin
there.
bite up
That's what I'm saying,
Catalina,
like,
man. Purple, blue, warm water there.
And again, I'm aware that El Nino is not a single bubble of hot water somewhere, but I don't think you could ever call a La Nina somewhere if we got.
I think, like I said, I think we're in a transition.
No,
I think we're in a
I'm
transition.
Total agreement with Wayne.
Definitely things are changing.
Yeah,
for sure.
no doubt.
You have another one,
I thought
huh?
so. It's a fun text from Darren and Menifee. He says, "Good morning, Pete, Rick, and welcome, Wayne. Wayne, are there any more plans for artificial reefs near the bays? I've been fishing them a lot the past year, and they're terrific. Such a great use of expenditure. Thanks for everything that you do for us as fishermen, Wayne." And that's all from Darren and Menifee.
Hey, Darren, thanks for the question. Yeah, CCA from the beginning and has tried to build habitat off our coastline. We will continue to do it. We're being held back by our agencies and departments within California. If you watch what's going on right now, you'll see the wind farms, national marine sanctuaries, MPAs, 30 by 30. All those things are probably why they're not allowing us to do habitat improvements other than the mitigation like for DDT up in Palos Verdes. And the reason is because marine spatial planning, they're divvying up our inshore waters and our state waters right now. And so they don't want us to go out there and start building habitat if they're going to put a border around it or sell it to somebody as a leasing site. That's what I believe. So stay tuned. It's not that we're done. It's not that we're not trying. We're just going to have to shift gears on what we do habitat wise. But I absolutely agree. Though those areas that the environmentalists don't want because it's sandy bottom or it's non-habitat for the fishery, why can't we build habitat and create a fishery there?
Yeah,
Right. It meets that same cause that they're trying to objective that they're trying to meet. So that ongoing.
Yeah, give us some 30 by 30 credit. We'll put some more reef on the bottom.
Yeah.
Give us some credit. Give us a little bit back.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, the phones are packed up. I know
Let's
everybody's
jump into
dying
it,
to talk
yeah.
to Wayne. How about Jim from Valley Center up next for Let's Talk Hookup? Hey, Jim, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah. You there?
Got you, Jim. Go ahead.
Whoa, it's Tim. You guys always call me Jim. I didn't know I would get on. Hey, my question is, I've been down Solana Beach, and the beach is so big now. They've dredged and added sand. So I saw a couple of surf fishermen down there. They're having a good time. A couple guys that are, like in their 18, 17 years old, and they were using sand crabs to catch some small fish, some bass. But yet, is that dredging and adding all that sand going to create a problem for surf fishing or any other kind of fishing? Any other kind of fishing like
It's
that?
not going to help
temporarily, but
maybe
I mean,
in the
you're
long
changing
run.
the environment in the ocean, right? And what they're doing is they're putting it back up on the sand. That they need the sand on the beach because that's what the tourists need. but it'll calm back down. The fish are still going to come into the inshore because that's what they do. The sand crab come in, the grunion come in, the bait's all inside, and those fish will follow them in.
Yeah, and the ocean corrects itself pretty rapidly.
Yeah, especially on the inshore right there.
Yeah, for sure. That sand, I mean, you won't even know what's going on like a week or two later.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I have a great text here from Dennis in LA area. He says, "Hey, Wayne, Dennis here. Fished together on our forest trip on the AA years ago. I'm a lifetime CCA member. Good for you, Dennis. And we need more of those for sure. And feel that I'm a conservationist. How did these other groups paint us as the bad guys, and how can we change that perception that we're actually part of the solution, not the problem?"
Hey, Dennis. Hey, good seeing you. Yeah, it's been a while since the American Angler trip. We all said the same thing. We scratch our head every day that when did we become the enemy?
Yeah.
We've put our money, we put our time, we put our efforts behind conservation, sustainability, management. We put our dollars behind it with our fishing licenses and all the other things that we do, excise taxes on our gear. And they've hijacked our movement and our pieces, and we don't know how that actually happened, but it's happened. So that's where we keep trying to put common sense and solutions back into our process, like fixing the pollution, fixing the sewer runoff, fixing, the raw sewage and all the treated water, because those are the real issues. And if we can find that common ground, which we all should be able to get behind, we should be able to make better headway and stop fighting over stuff that aren't really the issues. That's been our cause or our way to try to get there.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
Got it. How about this time? We talked to Dave, who's calling us from Anza this morning. Hi, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Say, Wayne, I'm a member of the CCA. I worked your booth at the Delamar show there. I'm also a member of the NRA. In times like right now when we're close to election, I get plenty of information from the NRA about who's supportive of our cause. How come we don't hear more from the CCA about who's supportive of our cause? And are there any politicians here in California that do support the CCA?
Hey, Dave, great talking to you again. Hey, here's the difference. NRA has a PAC, and so they are allowed to back a political candidate. We are a 501c3 charity, so we are not allowed to back any candidate for an office. We can talk about issues, we can bring them in and talk about things, but we cannot get behind a candidate itself without having a PAC. But it's a different classification.
And the reason you get a lot of stuff from NRA, it's called money, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of money and a lot of backing across
it just
the
depends on
country.
how you want to put yourself. Now we have a PAC that we all belong to, federal PAC, but that's a different arm of what we do.
Yeah. So CCA is a national organization, right?
Correct.
And so we are a subsidiary of CCA National, right?
We are a chapter under a single 501c3 nationally.
Yeah. So we have our own 501c3.
We have one 501c3 for CCA.
For CCA
overall,
all over the country.
And each chapter
So
runs,
the Florida chapters, and they're all under the same 501c3.
Absolutely.
So that means when you donate to CCA, it's a tax deductible donation.
Parts of it are. Yes.
Parts of it are. Yeah. Yeah. In theory. Talk to your tax advisor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Wayne very appropriately just let the yeah, exactly. I'll let you handle that.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, thanks for calling us, Dave. Appreciate all your support too for CCA. We need more guys again
good
to
job,
do
Dave.
that. Yeah. So keep it up.
Yeah.
Mark in Buena Park says, "Hey, great show. Mentioned solution. Would it be a solution if you had seasonal fishing areas that are fished by local boats year round, just like the areas for cod fishing?"
Well, if you think about what we've gotten to in our regulations right now, it is kind of that, where we have inside of 50 fathom, outside of 50 fathom, and all depth, depending on where you are. We have regions within California. So this is something that we said, shift the effort, move it around so that you're not hurting one area too hard, too fast. But the problem is like when we're under 50 fathom, Southern California, under 50 fathom, there's only so many places that our fleet can go to. Think about what Brian Woolley was talking about Laguna. If they shut that Laguna area down, it's going to just push them all into one little area, and then they're going to complain that we're overfishing it. Well, it's not because there's no fish. It's because you've forced us into a very posted size stamp area of availability through regulation, not because of the fishing or the fish. So there's different trade-offs in what we do, and that's what we all discuss and manage through in the process.
All right. Well, let's jump back in the phones.
Taylor is up next on Let's Talk Hookup from California. What's up, Taylor? Good morning.
Hey, I have a question for you guys.
All right.
When do you think the yellowfin are going to show around?
Boy, we all want to know that one, man.
Taylor, we're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready.
I mean, there's, it's funny because we've heard the reports from the long range guys that say that the yellowfin fishing 400 miles down is epic.
Week after week after week.
Yeah.
It has not slowed.
But they don't see anything between that here and there.
Yeah.
That's really strange. So, but that stuff moves fast.
Yeah.
And it could be here next week, right?
There's some out in Tanner and Cortez, but it's not the massive
Yeah.
school, wide open bite.
And Brian Woolley said there was some around Dana Point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A few
They're
here and there.
around.
There
They're
is
around.
some here, but there is the most unbelievable fishing that those 6-day and longer trips are experiencing.
Yeah.
I mean, like
on
it-
big
it's-
fish,
it's
40
all-
to 80 pounders.
It's bordering on too good. I
Yeah.
mean, they get to the zone and like you catch them any way you want: popper, surface iron, live bait, yo-yo jig, however.
How
you
are
want.
they keeping the
Limits.
seiners off of that? That's what I mean. Thank goodness. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
But,
it is
I mean,
incredible fishing
yeah.
down there on big meatballs of anchovy. It's just rad. So again, who knows? Maybe we get a tropical system and the water creates a little highway and it rolls up this way. Who knows? Who knows what it
There's
takes?
a few
But, man,
tropical systems down there. There's a push.
It sure would be cool if that fish slid into our local zone because, like you said, Pete, it's such a great size.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
A lot of 40 pounders and bigger. I mean, it'd be awesome. It's like a 30 to 90 pound size fish, and there's lots of 40 and 50s in it.
Right. But you know what's so cool this year that I haven't seen in a lot of years is the purple blue water here. I mean, you get into spots like Coronado Islands. I haven't seen the Coronado Islands look like that in decades, right? Purple, blue, 72, 73 degrees, Catalina, East End, 9 Mile Bank. I mean, it's just some beautiful water. So the stage is set.
Well, and
Lots of bait.
that's that question about the climate change that's going on right now out there because, parts of that are that upwelling, right? The highway system in the ocean is alive and working, and it's pushing that water up, and it's changing. It's turning it over, and so I think that brings the nutrients. It's going to bring other fish in. I mean, look at our fishery, how populated it is out there.
Yeah.
If we didn't have the nutrients, the bait, and everything, we wouldn't have all of this life out here.
Yeah, for sure. Rick, you have a great text.
I
huh?
thought so. Yeah, it's from Jim in Menifee. It says, who are the advocates that we should be writing into in government who are on our side? Kind of backs what Dave was talking about, but says California is so politically charged and dominated by policy. I'm ready to start writing, but I need to know who. And that's from Jim.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read another one here that's put along the same line. Bill and Scripps Rants writes, great show. Is there a fact sheet available with frame letters, emails that we can send to elected officials? Kind of the same tone.
That's very interesting because I just had a call with our coalition partners last Monday to talk about exactly that issue of the bullet points, the letters, the writing campaigns, especially before the MPA decadal review. So we are working on those right now, and hopefully you'll be able to watch our website when we get it ready.
CCACalifornia.org.
Correct. And then
you should have those
once we get it up and running, because I want that consistency of message. I want to make sure that everybody has the right tools.
Yeah.
And there's ways to,
because people don't know what to write about and stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to help them.
And then so those should be available in the near future.
Yeah, that's what we're working on.
But we need stuff like that.
Absolutely,
it's important stuff.
And there's a timing to these campaigns too, right?
Yeah.
If you do it too early, then you get everybody lined up for the wrong reason.
You need to kind of say go.
Well, there's different parts of a cycle of procedures that we're going to go through with the petitions.
Yeah. Now, is there an email list that people can get on that kind of gets like, okay, now's the time, here's the letter. People that are members of CCA can get on that.
All of our members
like a
are
call
already,
to action.
All of our members are already in our database.
Okay.
We just got to make sure that your email addresses are accurate.
Right.
What we find is people change email addresses,
or that they don't go into trash or
Yeah, that they're not going. So we want to make sure that our database is good. Every member is in the database.
Yeah.
For access, and then we'll try to.
So the first thing you need to do is, if you're not a member, be a member.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Hey, had another great text come through. It says, good morning, guys. It's Mark from Canton, Ohio. My question is for Wayne. Is there any chance of us ever bringing back the CCA Charter Chapter Challenge tournament in October? I loved participating every year.
Yeah, you know what? We loved it too until it became a problem of weather, and it just almost killed Chris trying to redo all of those trips and get everybody. When boats had issues, when the weather came up, he had to move everybody. It almost killed him. And right now, the reason why we took Charter Challenge down is because we have the new Star Tournament, the annual tournament, and we moved all of those charters over to Star Charters. So for right now, that's where we're going to focus our efforts, because that one, it's a fundraising thing, but also it's a tournament that goes from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and it gives them a lot wider opportunity to schedule trips during that time period that make more sense for each of the chapters.
Explain Star Charters.
The Star Charters are the charters that CCA chapters are doing specifically to go fish for the Star Tournament.
So you're like focusing on the 18-inch bass instead of, a normal half day might go to get tons of action, where we're going to get a lot of small fish and, fish to take home as well, but we're focusing on pleasing everybody. A Star Charter might just be focusing on big bass, or just be focusing on halibut,
halibut, correct.
All about fish that are eligible for the tournament.
Yeah, that's the premise behind it, and to get members out there to enjoy the fishing with us.
Great call.
But without the tournament side of the Charter Challenge, so we're pushing everybody towards the Star Tournament instead.
I like it.
All right, let's jump into phones.
Mike in Phoenix is up next here on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How the heck's everybody today?
Excellent.
Doing great. Mike. Thanks, Mike.
This is for Wayne. Wayne, I grew up in Southern California. I currently live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm affiliated with several groups over here. One is Arizona Anglers, which consists of 27,000 members.
Wow.
I also am connected with Arizona Fish and Game. How can I help with the CCA over here promote the program?
You can sign up as a member of CCA Cal, and or at some point, if you're large enough and you can find enough people, we have inland chapters of CCA. So potentially you could start up a CCA in Arizona. There's other ways to do it, but right now CCA California can use all of your help, because most likely if you're coming to the.
Could he have a CCA California chapter in Phoenix?
Not really,
no,
because it's geography based. But we could set up a CCA Phoenix chapter, and then that goes to help CCA California.
Gotcha.
Kind of like we have a Nashville chapter in Tennessee that helps in the Gulf.
I see.
So there's ways around it. There's ways to do it. But right now, as a member, as a person living in Phoenix, you can sign up for CCA Cal. You can just tell them you want to be part of this chapter.
Yeah.
And you can get everybody over there to help us with our fisheries on the coast.
Hey, thanks a lot for the call and the efforts too in Phoenix. Appreciate you very much. Jeff in Costa Mesa says, what are the consequences of fishing accidentally or otherwise in an MLPA? Infraction, misdemeanor, what are the penalties? Does MLPAs extend 3 miles out?
MPAs are all unique to each MPA. So you have to know the borders around them, right?
And that's why you need to download that Fish Legal app.
Right. You need to know. And again, this is one of our problems. If they start changing borders, what's going to happen to all of these?
Yeah.
Right. Because we already have them all in our phones, our chips, or, all of our maps and everything.
So what are the consequences? What if you get caught?
If you get caught, it is considered a poaching violation. You will get a ticket. They can take your stuff. And it depends on the DA on how they want to prosecute it. Every DA.
They could take your boat or?
No, they're not to that level. Not unless you're really egregious. And it takes a lot to do that, but they will take your fish and they will fight you a ticket.
If you're in some egregious violation, more can be done, but you get a fine, and you got to pay that fine. You're not supposed
and
to
who enforces it?
Department of Fish and Wildlife.
The
wardens.
The wardens. And they watch it. Because what happens, especially if you go to areas that they're like citizens watching, they'll call CalTIP and say, hey, this guy's in the MPA.
Yes.
So you got to be careful.
We have been checked multiple times fishing on the legal side of the south end of the La Jolla closure. All good. Like, we're very aware, close to the line, but on the legal side of it. And like we had the boat come right to us, and they said exactly that. People on the beach called and said this boat was fishing in the closure. We're not, we were all good. They shook our hands, checked our life jackets, and drove away. Like no issue, no problem, no fine. But we were called because there were people on the beach who assumed like, hey, this guy is fishing where he isn't supposed to, and they called it in. So I mean, they are diligently
Vigilantes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, just so you know, there are people that have radars on their property, and they have the maps,
wild.
and they are watching anybody.
Come on.
No way.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh my gosh.
That's got to be a Laguna thing.
It's got to be a
That's a Laguna
Beach.
thing for
Right?
sure.
There's people that are very extreme on
crazy.
making sure that you all stay legal. So please don't give them any ammunition.
Don't
to
give
do
them, don't give them
because
any
we hear
ammo.
about it.
Suck.
We hear about it all levels. When you hear the report at a Fish and Game Commission meeting from the department, from the wardens, whatever, it's all of these violations, and I get them all. So
yeah.
I have to hear about it.
It's crazy.
Good job, Wayne. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's going fishing. We're giving away a full day trip on board the San Diego to one lucky caller or texter. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network. Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owners everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Surger Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from 1.5 to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
There are moments that change our perception of what is and isn't possible. Cosmic shifts where the stars align with the earth to alter how we see the world. The release of King Tide is one of those moments. This is the crowning achievement of Costa's 40-year legacy on the water, the culmination of every innovation and lessons learned up until this point. Wins and losses and highs and lows have brought us here to stand witness to a legacy brought to life, to achieve the ultimate potential on the water. Costa King Tide, rule the water.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time this morning. We're going to find out who is going fishing on board the San Diego, a caller or texter. Wayne's going to do us the honor flipping the coin. We have a texter winning today. Congratulations, Dawn in San Bernardino. You are going fishing on the San Diego at a C4 Sport Fishing on a full day trip.
Yeah, Wayne, how do we get into CCA?
Go to our website, ccacalifornia.org. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, ccacalifornia.org. Thank you for all your efforts for us, Wayne. And thanks to everybody who's a big supporter of CCA. We sure appreciate you. Thanks to Chris, man on the boards today. We appreciate you. And, of course, Adam on the Let's Talk Hookup app. And all of you watching us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, 1090 AM, as well as the Let's Talk Hookup app. Thank you out there. We sure appreciate you. Next Saturday, Ron Lane. Yeah, the one and only from Fast Lane Kayaks. Going to be here next Saturday. Next Sunday, Jim Hendricks local fishing expert, big official in CCA California, and a great guy. That's next Saturday and Sunday. We'll see you back here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network.
All right, we're all set.
All right. Thanks, Chris. All right. Well, a little bit of hiccups there, but we're all good.
Got through it. Yep, we're all good, man.
All right. Thanks. All right. Talk to you next week.
All right. I need
All right.
I need to pick them all. Selfie time.